From the aerial view to the human perspective, Exploring Horizons looks at what brings us together, what sets us apart, and what ignites our passion to explore. Far-out destinations and a scope-through flight that extends far past the usual boundaries. These elements combine to achieve a unique portrait of each place and inspire us to look at our world through different eyes.
Hola! We're on the road in Costa Rica where we're going to be exploring the beautiful Guanacaste province from the isolated community of Islita. In this region there are mountains to the east, volcanoes to the north, and the Pacific coast has the most beautiful beaches in the country. Now most people who come here like to fly in, but if you're big on adventure, take the road. The road is one big frickin' adventure.
The Guanacaste province is situated in the northwest part of Costa Rica. It's the second largest province in the country and a land of amazing contrasts. From its tropical coastline along the Pacific Ocean to a rugged volcanic interior, there is much to be explored. Part of the north region is protected conservation area. And from the isolated paradise of Punta Islita, we'll be setting out to uncover its amazing diversity. The Pan American Highway connects all of the main centers in Costa Rica, but accessing remote areas like Punta Islita requires navigating along narrow dirt roads. Most people opt to fly. For those who choose the road, four-wheel drive is recommended, and with many rivers to cross, it's best to travel in the dry season.
I love the drive. The drive is not for people who are looking for paved highways.
It was quite an experience getting here. It was a bit rough. Unless you have the right vehicle, I mean, don't even attempt it.
Considering the environment here, you can't really build a highway in this kind of area here, wash out, twice a year, I suppose. So they build the roads, the best they can on the sides of the mountain. You get jungle goes right straight to the ocean and then drops off. So somewhere in there you get to carve out a little trail, and if you got the right vehicle, it's a riot. Our big van, you gotta take it really slow. It's about as wide as the road is in some places.
The best vehicle for these roads is horseback.
They're dirt roads that are meant really only for 4x4 vehicles. So that in itself was a challenge, but a fun challenge to get through. We had to cross over rivers that we were unsure of the depth of.
But it certainly gives you a good introduction to the type of area you're going into, and Islita is very isolated.
Punta Islita is built into the hills overlooking the Pacific Ocean, and after a day spent on the dusty road, this paradise was a welcome sight.
Once we got into Punta Islita, I thought I had died and gone to heaven. Punta Islita is like finding an oasis in the desert after coming off of that road. Paradise.
At one time, these grounds were ranch land for cattle. Today, they house the most exquisite resort hideaway along Guanacaste's Pacific coast. Unlike the overbearing structures of typical resort hotels, Punta Islita was designed to embrace the tranquility of its natural surroundings without taking over. Its secluded beachfront is free of development, and a handful of rustic-style bungalows and private villas give the visitor a sense of being in a solitary tropical paradise.
Traveling from location to location, we never know what kind of accommodations we end up in.
Sometimes it's an advantage, sometimes it's a disadvantage. Here at Hotel Ponte Islita, you be the judge of that. Welcome. There's 3 bedrooms, and it sleeps about up to about 10 people.
Welcome to Costa Rica.
One of the big problems we're going to have is getting the crew out of bed. Because check these beds out. They're big, they're comfortable, there's fan, it's air conditioned, there's a breeze, any kind of ventilation that you want right here for your comfort.
Just like the monkeys, we like to explore from a variety of perspectives, and on every location, we bring an airplane along to capture the sights from above. The HX Trike is a new plane on crew, and for a first low-level tour of the coast, it was rigged with 5 cameras.
Got some angry monkeys over there.
Why'd you call them back, Drew? Oh, oh, oh! Oh, oh, oh!
Getting the plane ready here in Punta Islita. Wings coming up. Wasn't too much of a challenge. We had the routine down. Every time we put it together, it's getting a little bit faster. Wings up. Looks good.
All right.
The winds were definitely a problem, as they are everywhere we go. Yeah, it's going up to about 5 or 6, but maybe gusting 12 or so.
Yeah, the breeze is definitely picking up.
Yeah, it's starting to pick up. Well, it's afternoon now, so we're going to get the winds coming in. The plane is very limited to what it can fly in. So early mornings, late afternoons seem to be the best time to fly. And there was no exception here.
What we're going to do here right now is we're going to go out and bomb down the coast and see what we can see around here. I was kind of hoping to get out a little bit earlier because it was really calm this morning. We're getting the sea breeze coming along now, so we're going to get some turbulence. It's going to be a little bumpy, a little convective stuff, but hopefully it's going to be a smooth enough flight. The cameras are all going to catch everything. It's going to look like I'm not a total spaz up there. Should be some good flying. All clear?
The Edge X is the first non-fixed-wing airplane that we've used on production. Its hang glider-like wing allows for short-distance takeoffs and landings, which is critical for flying in remote areas. This trike is built and manufactured by Airborne in Australia and was designed to handle excursions over rugged territory like the outback. Its lightweight does restrict its ability to handle strong wind, but it allows for low and slow flying, and with no engine power, the trike can glide safely to a landing.
The airplane that we're using this season is considerably different from what we've been using before. It's fun for me because I've never flown anything like this before. It's about as similar to the types of airplane I fly as a helicopter, so it's like learning all over again. The ocean itself, this is the open Pacific here, so it's relentless. The surf here never stops. And some of the sand beaches here, they look to be like 10, 12 kilometers long, you know, and just beautiful. Where there's rock, you can see where the waves, it's the eroding, have carved all kinds of caves and tunnels, and It's really spectacular to watch. I wouldn't want to get caught down there. You know, if you went down low tide, it'd be a good place to walk around. But as the tide come up, it wouldn't be a good place to be. So you want to make sure that you know what you're doing to get down there, or use the airplane. You can see everything that way.
Punta Islita is a lone outpost on this stretch of the Pacific coast, and it was specifically designed to allow the wild environment to prevail. Keeping it natural is its real appeal, and that's what owner and developer Harry Zurcher has managed to achieve.
We're about 300 meters from the Pacific Ocean. It's surrounded by mountains that has at least 500 species of birds, without any doubt. I love the mixture between mountains and the ocean. That's a very special blend, because I don't like just flat places where you can have beautiful oceans but no nature. Here you have nature and you have ocean. It's a special blend, a special mixture. Well, I bought this place about 30 years ago. It used to be a cattle ranch, and I decided to change a little bit the image of the place in order to be a little bit more wild, more nature. So I started to planting trees and reforestation. And after several years, I decided that I would like to share this place with more people. So I decided to build a hotel, and I want to keep it very, very rustic, very comfortable, but at the same time in contact with nature. I don't want to lose that. That's my main goal. But my main purpose is to help people in the area, which 5 years ago, as I mentioned, the only thing that they know how to do is with the machete cross the grass. 8 hours in the sun. So now their lives have changed completely. Now they are bartenders and waitresses. They changed their lives.
And before the hotel, you know, the town was big, and then it was getting smaller and smaller, and now in Islita there's like around 75 people living. Right now the hotel is like a big family.
We don't have to leave our country to, you know, to get a better life, because this is like the best, honestly.
We like to be equal. Costa Rica is a very peaceful country, very small, but democracy is our main goal. And the people from here is excellent. They love their country, they love their people, and they love nature. And Islita is a reflection of what Costa Rica is. I think that the nature is the answer for the future.
Here we've got, around behind me here, there's a low range of mountains going up to a little over 2,000 feet and drop right off into the ocean. In other areas there, they slope off a bit, and then you have jungle right until you get into the salt spray, which is, you know, is wonderful. Sure that as I'm flying along right directly over the ocean and the spray and the rocks, I get monkeys right off my wingtip, which is kind of a new experience for me. It's the dry season here right now, and still look how green it is, you know, so I imagine when it's wet it's really, really lush. As soon as we get some daytime heating like we've got started now, we get the sea breeze, and it's just a constant wind right off the ocean, which is good for flying. Also, there's a lot of soaring birds here, you know, big vultures and pelicans, and they're all circling around there, giving you a really good indication of, you know, where the air currents are. And this particular airplane is very sensitive to all those things, more so than anything else we've really used in production, or I've flown personally myself. So So it's good to have these indicators, you know, to see what you're dealing with. With this airplane, all the control inputs are reversed to what I'm used to. Total in the smaller little airplanes, I got about 4,000 some hours, probably closer to 11,000 total in everything that I've flown. So I have some innate tendencies, you know, some solid entrenched habits. When I was coming in for one landing here today, I heard a radio call and I wasn't really sure what they were saying. So I looked up, and what looked exactly to me like an airplane on final, which I believe now it turned out to be a bird, but I thought there was an airplane coming the other way. So while I was looking around, I had drifted off the runway a little bit anyways because I wasn't paying perfect attention to what I was doing. So I put the power up and swung it around, and just as I was turning around, I pitch reversed.
That was close.
Instead of climbing and pushing forward like I should, I went back to my 25 years of experience. I pulled the column back, dove the airplane down towards the ground, and then I had to turn around to avoid a tree to zip around and get back downwind, which kind of woke everybody up for a moment or two, but hopefully we'll get beyond that. Like I say, I just got a few hours experience in the airplane now, and it's Murphy's out there, you know, so I did just about everything wrong I could possibly do all at once. And we're still here talking about it, so it worked out okay. Turning everything off here. Hey, it's beautiful down there, you love it.
Guanacaste is renowned for its spectacular diversity. Its Pacific coast is famous for long stretches of beautiful beaches that are dotted with luxury resorts. The interior is a mixed landscape of flat agricultural plains, wet and dry forests, and winding waterways. North towards the border with Nicaragua, the landscape slopes upwards into volcano country. A large corridor of this region is protected as the Guanacaste Conservation Area, and the local communities within it play an active role in maintaining its biodiversity. Rincon de la Vieja is an area with wildlife preserves, lush jungle, and a live volcano, and excursions here are best planned over a couple of days. There are a few hotels in the area, but a number of private ranches offer accommodations in an authentic rustic setting.
It's what you'd call a campesino house, which is cottage or camp house, I guess.
Yeah, it was pretty comfortable, a bit different from where we just came from, but...
We're apparently going to go through a lot of different climates, different regions today, so we were told to be prepared. These I don't need. The area around Rincon de la Vieja volcano was designated a national park in the early 70s, but for countless generations, the land outside of the park boundaries has been cultivated by ranchers and farmers.
Hello.
In the past 10 years, there has been a growing movement to protect the areas surrounding the park as one large conservation corridor. The Nueva Zelandia Ranch is part of a small group of local tour operators known as Acaturive. Their network of small lodges and local guides work together to promote ongoing conservation and to improve the quality of life in their communities. Excursions to the live volcano can be arranged between a number of these private lodges, and a visit to one of the local ranches is often a full experience on its own.
I like your beak, it's so cute.
These grounds are a temporary sanctuary for a number of wild animals from the surrounding rainforest.
See ya.
This local community has managed to incorporate ecotourism into their traditional lifestyle, and sampling the local cuisine is part of the experience they offer. Along the road to the volcano, there are a number of small ranches. We were headed deep into the jungle, and our first stop was the Rio Celeste Animal Sanctuary. It's home to birds, mammals, amphibians, and reptiles.
Okay.
It's a snake, bigger snake.
Bigger snake?
Yeah.
Snake?
Yeah.
Can we see?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. You want to see the snake?
Okay.
Estamos aquí en Río Celeste. Esta es la comunidad de Río Celeste en donde se da una conservación máxima total de las especies de la zona.
Nosotros empezamos porque hubo una tala de árboles aquí cerca, entonces cayeron unos tucanes, cayeron de la montaña y cayeron, estaban peloncitos, no tenían nada y totalmente no se podían valer por sí solos. Un señor los trajo y me dijo que si los podía cuidar y ahí nació la idea entonces de ser un zoológico adoptivo.
Oh, it was quite an experience being able to see the variety of wildlife that's in the region, and what they're doing is very good because they're protecting that wildlife from the people who don't have the same sort of respect for it.
What kind of snake?
¿Qué clase de? Constrictor. Boa constrictor.
Ooh, color, look at this. Wow, I never had snake in my hands like this.
I love these feet. Oh, he's so adorable. I've never seen a frog like this. He doesn't feel real. He feels like little plastic feet. It's beautiful, beautiful colors. One of the most fascinating parts of Rio Celeste is the snake farm. There are numerous resident species of both the poisonous and non-poisonous varieties, and this is a great place to learn about the ones to avoid.
5 a 6 metros.
Ella ahorita mide 3 metros y medio.
3.5 meters. 3.5 meters long, and the ability to crush every bone in your body.
So he was found in this area.
Yeah. ¿Y dónde le encontraron a él?
A ella la encontraron en una piscina comiendo patos. Entonces la iban a matar y la fuimos a recoger para que no nos la mataran.
Be careful in there.
For some people, those animals are a nuisance, and for these people, those animals need to be protected. So it's good to know that somebody is there doing that.
Nosotros acá, la idea ha sido netamente de conservación para cuidar las especies, protegerlas. Algunas personas las toman del campo y después no las quieren cuidar más y nosotros nos encargamos de seguirle dando cuidado de alimentación y lo demás. Para ello tenemos un biólogo y un veterinario que nos ayudan para tener el control de las especies, las enfermedades, y también nosotros acá tenemos para los paquetes de los estudiantes.
Beautiful to see all of the creatures that are actually in this Guanacaste province here, so many of them here in this one place, and what Raquel and her family are doing to conserve those animal species is really quite impressive. The road to the volcano only goes so far, and it was obvious by the increasingly difficult terrain that we were getting close to the starting point of our hike. Once we reached the base of the volcano, we would be on foot through a thick patch of wild jungle, and a new crew of local guides joined our excursion to help navigate the way.
Aquí nos encontramos en el pie del volcán Rincón de la Vieja. Esto es parte del área de conservación Guanacaste.
Nice jungle. Bioforest
Reserve. Bioforest Reserve. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's extraordinarily lush jungle.
Aquí al menos ahorita está lo que es la Cámara de Turismo del Rincón de la Vieja. Es una cámara que se creó con el fin de proteger lo que son las áreas cercanas al volcán. Por ejemplo, en la región existen, la Cámara de Turismo, existen 8 albergues en donde los cuales pueden preservar y parte de ellos es ayudado por fondos mundiales para la conservación para mantener lo que es el corredor biológico mesoamericano.
Estas empresas han creído en nuestros proyectos porque como microempresarios que formamos realmente lo que es la cámara estamos anuentes y preocupados por conservar lo poco que nos queda.
Aquí lo que se pretende es conservar lo que son la fauna y la flora. Aquí existe, por decirlo así, un corredor biológico que hace que las especies puedan emigrar de una vertiente a otra o si no, bajar a buscar alimentos o ya sea la reproducción de las especies.
En las fincas se han dedicado a lo que es cacería, tala de los árboles para la venta de madera, el cual pues ya los bosques han ido perdiendo todo lo natural, entonces tanto bosques primarios como secundarios, entonces queremos mantener lo poco que nos queda en esta región y tratar de darla a conocer porque hay muchas instituciones interesadas en ellos, estudiantes, científicos.
Sí. Yeah, this is the base of the volcano. From here we walk.
Hola. The trek up to the volcano was a very challenging hike.
Okay, our altimeter here is showing that we're 500 feet above the truck. That means we've got 1,500 to go to the summit here. It's getting a little bit warmer and it's 29 degrees Celsius.
The jungle trail is marked in points along the way, but due to the lush environment, the path is often overgrown and has to be constantly cleared in order to pass through. Our group of local guides share an intimate knowledge of every plant and animal that live within this region, and their active role in the protection of the environment made for a fascinating educational experience.
I've never seen anybody ever reach out like this and grab a butterfly, but I saw it once.
Mariposita.
Oscar, who's our guide, is very knowledgeable. He relates to all of the creatures that you might find here, and he can spot them in an instant. And only with his help do you realize that you're surrounded by all kinds of creatures and plants and that you would not otherwise see.
Esta planta tiene una flor que le decimos aquí labios de puta, labios de mujer alegre.
This plant is called Samia. It's been around for over 65 million years. This has been around since the dinosaurs.
La floración es cada 10 años, según los científicos. Dicen que esta planta tiene propiedades curativas, por eso dicen milenaria, ha soportado el paso de los siglos y se ha conservado igual. Una planta de estas hacia afuera cuesta hasta 25.000 colones en una buena macetera. Aquí la estamos protegiendo, que no salga de la zona. Esto es prohibido que la saquen de aquí.
¿Cómo se llama?
Samia. Samia.
We've climbed about 1,000 feet through the jungle, and the canopy is thinning out here. I think we have about another 1,000 feet to the volcano, but it's going to be a lot more open, less narrow trail.
Que el cráter Rincón de la Vieja hacia acá, al norte el lago de Nicaragua hacia acá y el cráter Rincón de la Vieja. Tenemos unas cascadas aquí de agua pura que están en esa montaña. Ahorita vamos a ir a las cascadas que están ahí de agua pura.
It's pretty cloudy though, so I don't know if we're going to be able to make it up to the top all the way, and even if we do, I don't know if we're going to get the shots that we need, so we're going to try our best. Some people are going to stay down here, so our big thing now is whether or not we can make it down with enough daylight to see and not bust ourselves in half. So
we're going to give it a go, see what we can do. They say it takes an hour and 45. We'll see if we can cut the time down and make it to the top and see that volcano.
With only a few hours of daylight left, it was too risky for the whole team to attempt the rest of the hike. Half of the group continued on the rough trail to the summit, while those left behind got to soak in the pure nature. Rincón de la Vieja is the source of numerous rivers. Here, they cascade over cliffs and boulders of cooled lava flows.
This particular spot is very cool because we're actually standing on lava that is obviously cooled off. It's from the volcano that erupted here 7 years ago, and it all flowed down the mountain here, and now parts of the rock have been smoothed out into beautiful shapes from the waterfall that flows all the way down, and it's a great place to be.
Yeah, the guys on the radio are saying that they have reached the top. It only took them 1 hour, and apparently there are no clouds up there. It's really beautiful.
When we got near the top, it was like fog and you couldn't see 5 or 6 feet in front of you. And then when we got to the top of the volcano, we all sat around the rim, or the opening of it. The wind was just howling. It must have been 40, 50 knots probably. And we're in the clouds now. They don't want us to get too close to the edge there. You can see if you just kind of look over that way that if you were to step even a few feet from where we are, it's a long drop down. It's very soft. It's kind of like mud underneath here. Pretty easy to fall over the edge, I would say. And we sat there and we waited for quite a while before the volcano would give us glimpses of the opening. We're sitting right on the edge of the volcano, right over this edge. It drops down. We can't even see. It's really foggy. We're at 2,600 feet from where we left the vehicles. We're just sitting on the edge of the volcano.
The view from the top is breathtaking. The clouds, the way they fly by you at a mile a minute, and when the sun, the rays just shine right through the breaking clouds and you can see into the crater of that volcano, you feel alive. You feel like you're doing something that is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and for me, it was.
Go up. Okay, good job there.
Canopy tours are fast becoming synonymous with adventure travel in Costa Rica and are definitely the most unique and exhilarating way to experience the forest. Participants are rigged with climbing gear and fly between a series of treetop platforms along connecting cables. I think this is going to be an exquisite way to get down to the beach.
The canopy tour in Punta Islita is a real blast, and it's a beginner's canopy tour. It's not that intense, but you still get to have that experience of flying at treetop level.
Essentially, you just swing from treetop to treetop. And we've got little platforms built for you to land on, and they hook you up with climbing gear to these cables that are strung throughout the canopy, and you fly through the trees. It's a lot of fun.
Go up. Okay, good job there. Very good. How do you like that one?
I loved it. I can't wait to do it again.
Alonso was saying it should be the way people travel in big cities instead of driving in their cars, and we were having a good laugh about what all the business people would look like in their suits and briefcases rappelling from building to building.
We'll see what happens in the future. And actually in Costa Rica they use it as a way of transportation. To cross on rivers, especially if you go whitewater rafting, Pacuari, they will do that kind of system. Very good. Good job. Step up, please.
Number 2.
Great. All right, guys, we're gonna go to the longest ride. So enjoy the freestyle in this one.
Freestyle.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're an amusement park junkie, this is the kind of thing for you.
Okay. Woo! There's lots of monkeys around here, howler monkeys. And this was the last part of the tour.
That bunch
They're over there.
there.
In that bush.
Over there.
Oh, yeah.
He's looking at you. Checking it
Wow.
out. Hey, buddy, we're doing your business.
What's it, can you do a monkey call?
These are the howler monkeys, and this is one of the 4 species that we find in Costa Rica. especially in the tropical dry forests. They're all around it. They are vegetarian monkeys, so they go from tree to tree looking for leaves, some fruit and flowers also. They live in troops, so there's going to be an alpha male in every troop. There's a big guy, got more hair under the chin, and also the testicle is one easy way to recognize it, and it's the only one that makes noise. Females do not make that noise. It's the one that will always try to show who's the boss there.
Okay. So that's it?
Yeah.
Seeing mango trees this way. I feel like one of the flying monkeys in The Wizard of Oz. It's a blast. Gives you a bit of an adrenaline rush. Gives you a bit of a workout. You feel like you're working for your experience.
The Guanacaste province is famous for its long stretches of deserted beaches, and exploring the coast with an all-terrain vehicle is a fun way to cover a lot of ground.
Can we go ride it?
We can go ride it if you want it. Nobody here.
One of the most beautiful aspects of Punta Islita is the fact that there are long stretches of pristine beaches here with nobody else around. What a gorgeous beach! It's really hard to believe that nobody comes around here. I mean, that we see no people here.
Seems like a little private beach, but however, it's not. All beaches in Costa Rica are public.
Again, we went out with Alonzo, who's a local guide, and those are the best people to go out with when you can find them, because they'll take you places that you would never find on your own. Now we get to clean off that little bit of salt water that we got on. And I think this is too shallow for crocodiles here, so you're not scared anymore, are you?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
A number of rivers flow into the Pacific from the surrounding mountains. During the dry season, the shallow beds provide a path to explore. In the wet season, higher water levels make crossings completely impassable. For local residents who commute across the river for work, the wet season can be a frustrating obstacle.
Okay guys, we're here in Rio Corosalito. This is a part of the river mouth that we saw back there in the ocean, get into the ocean. This river seems very calm right now. But at rainy season, this river is even impossible to cross. You can see trees, big giant trees, coming over, floating all along the river. So it's very dangerous if you're gonna cross it. Especially the hotel is on one side of the river, and a lot of the people that work at the hotel live on the other side of the river. So sometimes employees have to wait the level of the river go down. So this is a matter of just rainy season, and this is basically only September and October when it's really, really rainy, and depending how many hurricanes we get around.
Maybe we could just run in the ocean really quick.
That would be a good idea.
Yay, Pacific Ocean! Oh, it's so warm. Here I am, reconnected with the planet. Yes.
The end to a perfect day in this tropical paradise is hidden in the treetops high above the jungle.
The Monkey Bar is the best place to catch the sunset in Islita, and that's where we're headed. Looks awesome.
The Monkey Bar is a favorite spot for locals and tourists, and by all accounts is a place that shouldn't be missed. It's perched above the jungle canopy and has the best panoramic view of the coast.
They were right. This is the perfect place to watch the sunset. And there it goes.
Bye-bye.
Punta Islita provides a luxurious setting for rest and relaxation. The swim-up bar is an especially attractive hangout for those who like to lounge in the pool. But for people with a craving for fun in the sun, there are a number of oceanfront playgrounds just a short drive away.
We're going to Costa de Oro, right? That's the beach we're going to go buggy kiting on.
Okay, supermarket, we're gonna buy drinks.
Supermarket, let's buy some drinks.
Okay.
Cuba Libre in a can.
All right, gracias. No, gracias. All right.
Power kiting hasn't made its way to this part of Costa Rica just yet, but we were traveling with our own kites and buggies in anticipation of a moment like this. Coyote Beach is a desolate stretch of hard-packed sand. If it wasn't for the incoming tide, this would be a kiting paradise.
Okay, we're here on the beach. We've got wind, we've got hard-packed sand, and we're racing against the tide. So let's go! Time to run in the ocean!
In a big race against the tide. The tide's going to be up to the side of the beach any moment now, and we're not sure whether we're going to get the shots, but we're going to do our best.
Playa Coyote is a buggy kiting fantasy land. The beach, when the tide is out, is about 200 meters wide, hard-packed sand, perfect. You just have to be there when the tide is out.
Oh, this tide is coming!
It's fun teaching people who haven't done it before how to fly. It's always a blast. Alonso got the hang of it like that.
Yeah, no, it's a very cool thing. I tried it out. I had to crash a couple times, but it's part of the growth, part of the fun.
Part of learning.
Uh-huh.
Our timing was a little off, and we got caught with the tide coming in, so it restricted our ability to get as much as we could out of that day, but we still had a complete blast.
Bye-bye. So fast here that we cannot even fight the battle. We were sleeping probably too long this morning.
Still fun.
Oh, big fun.
What did you think of your first experience with kiting?
It's very nice.
Yeah?
It will be a very popular sport in Costa Rica. The only thing is we have to check it out the tides.
Yes. Did you see anyone kiting on this beach before?
No, nobody.
No?
I never seen anybody doing even kiting here in Costa Rica.
So we're going to go to your parents' place for dinner tonight.
Sure, we're going to have a wonderful dinner there.
Okay, let's go.
Vámonos.
We're going to a local restaurant for dinner, and apparently they have a fantastic menu, fresh fish that they catch every day. So I'm looking forward to it. Welcome to Loma Clara.
Loma Clara is a family-owned restaurant that provides a fabulous experience in traditional cuisine and an atmosphere that makes every guest feel at home.
How nice is this?
Nosotros le escribimos como el lugar más lindo porque lo queremos mucho. Después, la gente, los vecinos, todo es así como muy amable, como que todos somos una familia. Es un lugar muy, muy lindo.
I think this is our table. This is great. Fish and seafood are the specialties at Loma Clara. Everything on the menu is prepared fresh to order, and every dish reflects Emma and Ricardo's home-style attention to detail.
Y eso es lo que se ofrece aquí. Un buen servicio, un cariño y después una buena atención para la gente que estamos ahí a cualquier momento.
We ate wonderful, the seafood, ceviche and the soup and all the different treats that they brought out for us to try. It was very tasty. The ambience, the building and everything was amazing. It was a really, really good experience.
As we just discovered in the 10 fantastic days that we got to spend here, the Guanacaste province contains all the best that Costa Rica has to offer. And for anybody who's looking to venture into the paradise of Central America, the journey begins right here.